Okay, so there are going to be a lot of topics that we're going to be talking about. I'll be talking about, and I expect it to be pretty fun. I actually expect this to be really helpful for myself and for everybody else involved, and everybody that listens and follows. Uh, there'll be topics of there'll be personal topics, there'll be personal stories, thoughts. We'll go deep into them, get ourselves in a little bit of trouble. Um, Without a doubt, we're going to be able to talk about food and equipment and codes and building and everything that almost everybody that I talk to on a daily basis asks. And it's almost always the same thing when it comes to technical and legal things. Not legal in the sense of like an attorney, but codes basically. And I've been doing this for a long time, been doing it for more than a decade independently. My company, Alteza and Alteza Forza, this is what we do. We are purveyors in the food service industry. And it's mostly, from the top down, A to Z, I guess. It's all about consulting, designing, speccing out, providing the equipment and things that are necessary to basically fulfill or manifest your ideas when it comes to building a restaurant, a food truck, a bar, whatever you can think of, bakery, grocery store, anything food service related. The codes are very similar. Regarding to equipment, it's always the same. Of course, what I mean is always the same within no matter what kind of food or menu or business, food service business that you have or will have potentially. But then the other things are what vary, location, dimensions, space, and all those things basically narrow down to what you really can do. Then you base it off of your budget, your timing, and the end game. What can you sacrifice? What are you willing to compromise on? Narrow it down. And then that's how you end up opening up your business. The underlining part, no matter what, is being able to do it without getting screwed over. Being able to, let's say, everybody has a budget. And if you don't have one, you make one. You got to give yourself challenges, right? In order to do it right, you can't just freely do it and find out that or expect the end result just like that. I mean, sounds great, but the reality is, we all have a budget, we all have a time frame, and which actually, by the way, is actually something that I'm going to be mentioning a lot in all of my videos. Or podcasts or whatever we're going to call these. I'll be talking about time this, time that. And, you can see my piece right there. Time is money, and to make money takes time. Of course, I didn't make those things up, but I did make this, with the help of my sister, Carla. And but I thought of it, and I'll talk about that later. But the point is that we all have time, a timeline, a time frame, and a budget. And so the idea is to be able to be supported by somebody that is a professional, somebody that has a good background in what you're trying to fulfill, what you're trying to accomplish. And so that's where we step in. My companies, same thing. It's all under the same umbrella. And we'll talk about that at some other point in time when necessary. But just basically, I like to say it in this type of way. We are here to help you realize your dreams without them becoming a nightmare. In this industry, things can go bad really fast, like really, really fast. You get screwed over by contractors. No offense to contractors, but we all know the stories, and we all know the ones that uh, we can depend on. And all contractors, Alteza Forza is a contractor side of my company, and so I include myself in this, although I don't like to identify myself as a contractor because I'm not out there bidding on a daily basis like all you are. But we all know when we get the story that such and such and such screwed them over, they don't have enough money, blah blah blah, and they expect us to be the ones to save them. Well, that is a lot of the reason that I'm wanting to do these type of videos, and I'm going to keep on doing them. It's to be able to help prevent, and with all of your guys' support, commenting, coming to talk to me about your services and your expertise, preferably, and so we can inform the customers, inform the market, the public, the industry on what to do and what not to do from day one, from the beginning. Have them get ready, be prepared, and be aware. And that way we don't get the shitty end of the stick, per se, where now we have to do the same amount of work, or even at a shorter amount of time, with a lot less money, which in a lot of situations we all know that it's not possible. So then coming back from, switching off from the contractors, guys, we're here, no talking shit, but we all know who the bad ones are. Coming back to the food industry, the end user, the customer, the client, you all need to be able to depend on professionals, whether it's an architect, engineer, a good contractor, and then subcontractors thereafter, consultants, and restaurant equipment or food service equipment supplier, people that you can actually see and meet with rather than just clicking away. We're all leading to that, and we'll talk about it. But the reality is that your site is physical. You have a brick and mortar, you have a food truck or trailer. You should depend on people that can actually share that experience with you in the most comfortable way, and that they understand what your budget and your limits are from the get-go. This whole charade that we're all used to, the old school mentality, I'll be talking a lot about old school mentality too. I mean, I'm young, and my company is the youngest owned in the industry that I'm aware, from the beginning, not like if somebody has inherited or purchased or whatever, but I started it in my 20s, and I'm here in my early 30s. So what I'm saying is that we'll be talking a lot about old school mentality. Most of my customers, the majority, are much older than I am. And I grew up my entire adulthood as self-employed, and we'll get into that too. And I've learned so much from so many people. A lot of them I consider colleagues, others I consider friends, everything. And the point is that there's a lot of old school mentality out there that it's not necessary anymore, especially because we live in a faster paced situation. A lot of us have a much smaller budget that I'm aware of based on the stories of back then and this and that. So what I guess I'm trying to say is that there's really no need to be able to hide certain things or many things, ideally nothing, but just put it on the table. That's what this environment is. This is my store. This is the place that I like to meet. That this is the environment that I want. I don't want something in between you and I. I don't want any of my team members, my crew, also. I don't want our customers to feel like this is a competition and there's something in between. Yeah, there's a table, but we all know conversation piece. coffee table. But we get to lay back. You know, let me take notes. I'm a lefty. My lefty desk is over there, but or a chair. But the idea is that we share ideas. We share the journey together, and we're side by side, not always kind of like hiding or you know, somewhat competing, which is very egotistical, and we'll talk about that too. A lot of these things I'm going to have so much fun talking about, but always related to food service. Point is, you know, we're going to be talking about almost step by step, but a much more entertaining way. Speaking of old school and new school, my style is always going to be able to have a conversation with a guest, and those guests are local. You know, maybe one day we get to bust out a Joe Rogan or something and make it big and talk to, you know, big time chefs and restaurant developers and, you know, designers and fun stuff like that. You know, government people, all that. But in the meantime, we're gonna stick to who we are at the moment and how we can all really relate. This is Seattle, Washington. I'm in Ballard right now. Ballard, Alteza. And we're gonna be, you know, having really cool conversations about subjects, topics. Always let me know what it is that you want to talk about, what it is that you have questions or concerns about in your own particular project. Forgive me if I don't reply or, you know, in time, or, you know, get address it like on a video or something. But I need to know more about our listeners, you know, Alteza, not a royal we, but there's more of us. But you'll see me primarily. And I want to help, you know, I want to help in any way that I can. I have a long list of things that I want to talk about. I'll try to keep them short. I'll try to keep them sweet and to the point. But I hope that you never get bored. And if you do, let me know. No hating, but, you know, then again, you know, I'm a businessman. It's not like you're going to hurt my feelings. All I want is to be able to help you. And because I do this on a daily basis, as I said, for more than 10 years, imagine how many times I've had to repeat the same thing over and over again. Different case, different person, but it's always the same thing. Well, you got to be careful with this. You got to do this. You got to do that. Well, don't forget that, blah, blah, blah. What does this measure? What is that? You know, what city, what jurisdiction, what county, whatever, you know, jurisdiction. So we'll talk about it. And I ask you to share. I ask you to help me expand this fast, because I like doing things fast. And I've been wanting to do this for a really long time. And I think I'm ready. I've been ready. And, you know, we're playing the ghetto. I have, you know, headphones, my iPhone, and a little $5 stand. You can hear the reverb, the echo. Hopefully you can hear the rain. Another thing I'll be talking a lot about, I love the rain. That's for real. My son's, my only son, my eldest, his second name is Rain, so I love the rain. So hopefully you can hear that. And, but yeah, we'll get better. We'll do this, you know, more often than not. You'll be seeing some food truck videos, because we just finished a dope-ass food truck in my Renton warehouse. So yeah, you guys are gonna be able to enjoy this, you know, statewide, Washington. I'm here. The reason I mentioned Washington is because what I know is for the state, code-wise and things like that. But I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are gonna be able to learn. Thunder. This is dope. This is a good sign. This is a good sign. All right, so this is supposed to be a test video, but I'm starting to really feel unraveled. I'm starting to feel comfortable. I'm pretty sure you can notice it in my body language, you know, arms wide open, everything. Sorry, I get really self-aware. I'm very observant. But let's keep it going. So help me out, you know, get me some followers, reach out to me. You can put comments. You can, I guess, email me. I'll figure this out. I don't really know. All I know is that I got a lot of information to give you guys, and it's all right here. and I need to document it for many reasons. I feel that this is going to be really helpful for my own company and also for you guys, for everybody. Even if you guys don't hire us, I'm not shy. Like I said, put everything on the table. I'm not playing with anybody. This is information that's supposed to be free. This is information that you guys are supposed to know. As a matter of fact, with your help, I hope that the entire industry, at least locally, can get a lot better, wiser, smarter, more prepared. Why? Because time is money, and to make money takes time. And if you guys don't give us the time to do it, then who's really, to say, like, what is it? Same thing with the money. If you guys aren't prepared, you're not aware, then you get screwed over here, you get screwed over there, or maybe you never open your business. Trust me, I've seen that a lot. We're in the used equipment business. I'll talk a lot about that. Just put this in perspective. My Renton warehouse is all used equipment. What I mean is that's where we have all of our used equipment. This is new, and we also store new stuff, of course. That's what I'm kind of rolling my eyes. But all used equipment, just talking about that, just put this in perspective. When I see used equipment, I tell my people, and sometimes I tell myself or my wife, it's a constant reminder that everything that is there that you see with your eyes is misery. It's all bad energy, I guess we can call it. It's just, every piece has a story. Whether it's just that it broke down at one point, or more than anything, the stuff that we get is not broken down. It's just that people fail. From the beginning to the end, there are people that fail. Like I said, I'll come back to the point. So keep that in perspective. We'll talk more about that, because that's a really dope conversation. It's actually the reason that I was motivated to do this. Back when Storage Wars, I think, was really popular and new, like the first season or whatever. It was during the recession, that hence why, there were so many storages, and it was kind of one of the topics. Remember you guys hunting the rusty or the antiques and stuff like that? All those shows were dope. And it made sense to us back then. And because we all suffered, especially a business owner. Point is, when I used to just focus on used equipment back then, I remember very distinctly that I wanted to do this because I would hear stories every day from the people that I would buy equipment from, and then the people that I sold that equipment to. And it's always like, not always, but a lot of times it sucks, because like I would hear a lot of, just sometimes really sad stories. And I would endure, and I would have a great conversation. I would learn from their mistakes, or from what they have to go through. And it taught me a lot about life and about the industry and the business that I actually have been running. And the same thing with the new owners. Then you see all this upbeat energy, this like, a lot of times it's innocence, and it's like they're not tainted. They are ready. They're pumped. Got money, got plans, got energy. I'm ready. I've been wanting to do this, or maybe it's my second one, or I'm back at it again. The bug. We'll talk about the bug. Close, and then you want to open later on, although you swore that you're never gonna do it. I know you. I see you. The point is that we'll talk about these things, and we don't want you, I personally don't want you to be one of those terrible stories. I don't want to see your equipment in my shop. I don't want to ever say, that used to be for such and such. You bought it brand new, was never able to open it, open their project, and now we have to sell it, or whatever the case is. You know what I'm talking about. Maybe you did open. You opened, but you opened owing everybody, or some, or one, and if you start off in the wrong foot, you end up in the wrong foot. Think of anything athletic, anything physical. You start a race in the wrong foot, you're not gonna finish right. You know, you go up for a shot on the wrong foot, you're not gonna end. It's not gonna end right. You know, I mean, yeah, there's luck if we want to believe in that, but this is business, and business is tied into life. And take care of it. Pay attention. Be aware, and don't be shy. That's the cool thing about talking to business owners or potential business owners, people that are going to basically this type of person that I am, B2B, business to business, right? That's the cool thing, at least, that you guys do know how to ask. I mean, that's why you are who you are, and that's why you're about to do or going to once again do this endeavor, because you know when to ask, how to ask at times. And I just hope that you take it as seriously as you do when you're proud of what you want to do, or you know what you're planning on doing, or what you already do, right? Let's be that enthusiastic about being straight up with each other, and change the way that we do business together completely. You know, that's why I'm gonna have cool conversations with a lot of my favorite customers at times. I hope I'll invite, because man, are there some really cool conversations out there from the personal side, business side, whatever. And I want the camera to be in front of as many of those conversations that I can have. That's why I'm trying to get familiar and used to using the iPhone, because there are going to be times that I want to be out, you know, in a restaurant or something, a bar, and just have those dope ass combos that I've had. And you know, just to close off, I guess I'll give you a background of who I am at another point. You know, right now I'm just trying this out. This is my first video. I'm gonna see what I sound like, what I look like, and then I'll get into the nitty gritty. I guess in closing, again, I work into this. I'll get better. I'm gonna be doing these videos bilingual at times. Natively, I'm a Spanish speaker. That's my first language. I'm going to try to keep them all individual. Like if I have to repeat, obviously not those really cool, unique conversations. I won't be able to, replicate those. But there are going to be some that are just in Spanish, and I'm never going to talk to them about the same thing again in English. It's all going to be organic. It's going to be coming from my heart and the person with me, if there is one person with me, or several. English will be English, and then when it comes to instructions and information, that is where I will be repeating myself, not in the same video, but I'll shoot them out. In case you guys know Spanish-speaking people, or work with, or have employees, or vice versa, whatever the case is, yeah, it'll be bilingual. Alteza is my company, my wife and I, and we have a really cool group of people that we consider family. It's been years. It's been a lot of devotion and love and care. You'll get to know them all. This vlog or podcast or video thing, whatever, I'll learn what it's called. I've decided years ago that I'm gonna call it Alteza, the Collective. And it's just gonna be, because it's gonna be a collection of a bunch of really cool things. So Alteza, the Collective. And if you see flashes, it's the lightning. It's dark. Alteza, the Collective. I'll be posting as often as I can. I'll post shorter videos when it comes to, instructions, but at least you won't hear me go, this is how you use an oven, and blah, 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 right? So I'll keep it a little, fun and entertaining. I also won't be a clown. You know, we don't want that either. All the gimmicks and stuff like that. I'll be real, guys. All right, okay. Um, and I want to have fun because I think this is the one thing that I've been missing a lot. You know, sometimes I feel burnt out. Sometimes I feel depressed. Sometimes I feel like, what am I doing? We all go through these things, but I constantly am reminded, or I remind myself, what's up? You know, this is good. I mean, the treats is good. So